we are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard Narad Goswami did sadhana, got darshan of Krishna, then Krishna disappeared, tried again, but Krishna did not appear. Then Narad Goswami was sad and surrendered. Then Krishna appeared as voice and he told him, now you are not yet fully pure. So you go on doing bhajan, then you will become my personal associate, sadhana siddha, and then you can see. So Narad Goswami did, and when he got the transcendental body, at the same time his physical body also fell down and he became personal associate of Krishna and could travel everywhere without any restriction. In material worlds, spiritual worlds, everywhere. So I told last time how Narad Goswami was speaking with that one Brahmin and one cobbler about when they can get Narayan. Then they got answer, and that cobbler could get Narayan immediately because he had firm belief in Supreme Lord, but Brahmin was logician, so he could not accept. So in that case, one cannot get Supreme Lord. First step is Shraddha, belief in existence of Supreme Lord and that he is the only enjoyer. By serving him, all are properly served. Before this belief comes, it is already in the nature of Atma, by nature, but it is covered by Maya when we are averse to Krishna. But when we gather enough devotional sukriti, then that first Shraddha will appear. That is the qualification for, or that is the first step in devotional path. First step. Diksha is not the first step. Some, because they want to increase number of followers or followers of their guru, they may say like that to force people, or to like this, that before taking Diksha everything is useless. So now you have to take Diksha from my guru or from me. That is not proper. There is a gradual procedure. So first one must have faith. How he will get faith? By gathering Sukriti, and you may encourage him to hear Harikatha from devotees and do some seva, what he is able to do. Then when that faith will appear, then with interest he will search out association of devotees, because he will be interested to know about Krishna and about worship of him. Naturally this will happen, not by any kind of force. And when he will associate with devotees and hear Harikatha and do some service and maybe hear Shastra also, then naturally he will want to know how I can serve Krishna. Then when that desire will come, then Krishna will come to him in the form of Guru. And Guru must see whether that person has faith or not. To give Diksha, Harinam or Mantra Diksha to someone who has no faith in Krishna is offense, just for the sake of gathering followers. That is not proper. There should be natural progress, and then he will do bhajan willingly. I already gave that example of our God brother. He took Harinam from our Gurudev, Diksha. He was doing bhajan, but his mother didn't. So he was pushing her all the time. You should also. Then one day Gurudev himself told him, because he noticed that mentality in him, don't push her. There is no use in this. Even if you try to somehow convince her, mentally she will accept, or due to some other reasons to fulfill your desire or whatever, she may do for some time, but that will not stay permanently, because it will not come from the heart. It will be due to some other causes. So when you should not do this, when the time will come for her, when she will get the grace of Gurudev, then she will come. So that our God brother, he stopped pushing her. Then after 8 years, his mother voluntarily, willingly came and said, now I want to worship Krishna. So there should be natural, organic progress. Otherwise, that will be artificial and of no value. So just for the sake of catching, that is not the point, or to increase the number like this. We should not miss the target. Target is service of Krishna, satisfaction of Krishna. So here, this Brahmin had no faith awakened yet, so he cannot get Narayan. Even if you bring Narayan to him, he will not be able to accept or do any kind of service. Naturally, it has to come. But that cobbler was ready. And also, you will find in Kapil Bhagavan, we will come to this topic later. Kapil Bhagavan and Mother Devahuti. Mother Devahuti asked Kapil Bhagavan, how I can be rescued from Maya? She's not in Maya, but doing this pastime, and out of natural humility, she asked this so that we can get teaching. So Kapil Bhagavan will come. In short, I'm telling, he said you have to associate with devotees. And such devotees have these qualities, and sometimes they may play the pastime of being ill, but they are not feeling any suffering because of that, because their mind is fully absorbed in me. So pure devotees, they don't get any physical, material, gross, subtle, this suffering, they are not getting. They are on transcendental platform. And also, when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on the order of Krishna, for the sake of preaching, or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when they are sent to this world, like Narad, they don't get any suffering as conditioned souls get due to birth by karma. Suffering at the time of birth, then threefold miseries and disease, old age, and suffering at the time of death. The conditioned souls get this. But when they appear in this world out of compassion, Rup, Sanatan, Raghunath Das, and Mahaprabhu's associates, Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when they appear, they are not getting any suffering of any kind of birth suffering like this. That is not there for them. They're transcendental. They come to this world on the order of Krishna. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told before his disappearance, out of compassion and to encourage, he said, if it is necessary, I shall appear 1,000 times again in this world to rescue those whom I have given grace, means his disciples. But even if he comes, that does not mean he will get any suffering of birth. They are not born due to karma. Like Krishna appears in this world, his devotees also appear. And they disappear also. That is their compassion. Once, one devotee asked our Gurudev that I want to take shelter of your lotus feet in my next life also. Then Gurudev said, when one goes to Golok Vrindavan, he does not have any desire to come back to this world. They have no desire. They don't like this world, where all conditioned souls, they are fighting for mundane interest, not interested in the service of Krishna. So they have no desire. But when Krishna sends for preaching, then they obey his order and they come for the sake of service. For the sake of service. But they are not conditioned by Maya. So that time Gurudev, out of humility, he said, why Krishna will send me? I am not fit for preaching. He will send Nayan Moni Manjari, means Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, like that. So they come, or someone else may be sent. Once they ask Srila Sridhar Maharaj that if Guru has to be born again and again in this world to rescue his disciples, then Sridhar Maharaj said, then he will never go to Krishna Lila. Because all the time, some disciple, when he will next time appear, a new disciple he will get. Like this. So he will never. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj said that they will go and Krishna will send someone else to help them. But they will not feel the difference because same Krishna is behind. Same Krishna is behind, so it is not necessary same one, but function will be there. But sometimes they ask him, but what if disciples, they don't want anyone else? Then he said, then that is difficult. Then Krishna will tell him, they want you only, so you have to go. So like that. It can also happen. Same Guru, same person may appear, and Prabhupada himself to encourage, he said. And another thing is also there, Srila Sridhar Maharaj told, even if they have to appear in this world by the Swarup Vyuha, by the expansion of Swarup, they may be simultaneously present in Lila and in this world also. It is not impossible for them. So they will never be deprived of anything. And this was also shown by Srila Vaman Maharaj sometimes, our Parangurudev also. When some devotees of Assam, their one family member died, disciples of Parangurudev, so they requested Parangurudev to come for that Shraddh ceremony. And Parangurudev thought, I have some service in Calcutta, so I cannot go. So he sent our Gurudev, Krishna Keshav Prabhu, and one devotee on his behalf to that place, without telling them that he will not come, but he just sent them. So by the will of Krishna, that train was late because you have to go around Bangladesh So many times those trains are late, it's a long route. So when our Gurudev and Krishna Keshav Prabhu, he's a disciple of Prabhupada, and another one, they approached that house, they saw that all the devotees and other guests, and they are throwing their prasad plates on there in dust bin or that place where they throw. They understood they already took prasad, and taking prasad is the last event. So they were surprised. Yeah, it was true. They came 2 hours late or 3 hours late. So they thought, oh, they already did everything. So they took prasad and we are late. So then Krishna Keshav Prabhu said, then better we should not go there now. Then our Gurudev said, but if we will not go, then what we will say to our Gurudev? What happened? He sent us and we didn't go there. What we will say to him? So then they all three, they agreed that they will go and they will see. They went there and they met the owner and everything. And they said, we are very sorry, we could not come before because our train was late. Unfortunately, Gurudev said he cannot come, so he sent us 3, but we were late, so in this way they approached. Then they said, no, why? Gurudev was here. He did all the ceremony and everything was very nice, and then he took prasad and he left, and now we took prasad and everything is fine. What you are telling? Then they were all surprised, these 3. They thought, what is this? What happened? How our Gurudev came here? And when they heard from them, they felt they are not speaking any lie or like this. They were also surprised. Why you are telling that Gurudev cannot come? Gurudev came. So then they were surprised and they took prasad and went back to Calcutta. And they met Param Gurudev there and they asked some devotees there, Gurudev was here? Then they said, yes, Gurudev was here. He was speaking Harikatha down and in the room, and Gurudev was here. Why? Then they were, what is this? Then they came to the room of Param Gurudev, and I think our Gurudev or someone asked about this, and Param Gurudev just smiled. He didn't reply anything. He just smiled. So nothing is impossible for them. Also, one time, our Gurudev, because he was writing letters, the Sridhar Maharaj also told they may stay there and also here at the same time. Baman Maharaj also played this pastime. He was seen in 2 places simultaneously for some service because they also were requesting. And our Gurudev told, one time our Gurudev was very sick, so all programs cancelled. Then Param Gurudev was dictating he got one letter and he was dictating a reply to that letter to those devotees, and Gurudev was writing. So in between, suddenly, Param Gurudev said, you make my program, I will go there. You arrange for the ticket and everything, I'm going there. Then Gurudev said, just before you said that all programs cancelled and you are also very sick, how you will go? No, you arrange that. So Gurudev said, I felt at that time that while reading that letter, Param Gurudev, from those disciples, and when replying to them, he felt their crying. He felt their crying, and that it is necessary for him to go there. So he immediately changed. And also that sickness, and this is not the thing. So immediately changed and went there. So they are not ordinary persons. We should not think like that. Those who are personal associates of Krishna, they are not restricted like conditioned souls. And they are not getting any worldly suffering at any time. These personal associates, like Narad Goswami. They may play the pastime of illness, but they are not suffering. They may play the pastime of like being born like this or dying, but that is not like conditioned souls. That is lila only. So really, they may appear again if it is required. Like yesterday we heard, Guru says sometimes it can happen. Like Rupa Sanatan, they appeared to Narottam Thakur, and Mahaprabhu also appeared. So it is possible. And sometimes same Guru will come. Sometimes another will be there to help. But there will be no disharmony because they are all in harmony. Those who are pure devotees, they are all in harmony and they are blessing us. Same blessing they are bringing, and that we will recognize it is same thing. And in that way we will be encouraged and will go on there, back home, back to Godhead. So, and thus I travel, constantly singing the transcendental message of the glories of the Lord, vibrating this instrument called a Veena, which is charged with transcendental sound and which was given to me by Lord Krishna. That is transcendental. So Narad is going everywhere. Out of compassion they appear in this world, but they are not fallen souls. Out of compassion they come for this service of Krishna. Pragayatah svaviryani tirtha padah priyashrava ahuta iva me shigram darshanam yati chetasi. Sometimes also Paramatma or Krishna will take the form of your Guru and appear. There is no restriction. Maybe not himself, he as a person will come, but Krishna may take his form and come, and you will not know that is he or it is Krishna. You will not know. But out of compassion, when required, they will come. Because they are all merciful. But we have to be eligible for that. If we are sincere, we are crying, we really want to serve, they will appear. That mercy will come. Krishna is always merciful. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart, as if called for, as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities. Same time, because Krishna Nam and Krishna, they are non-different. Those who are realized soul, they can realize this. We are not realizing, though it is true, but not realizing due to anarthas. But they are immediately, Kirtan Prabhave Smarana Hoive. By the power of Kirtan, automatically and immediately Smaran is there. Krishna is there. That is why our Gurudev used to repeatedly explain that to us. you see what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur wrote in his commentary to Shikastaka. Usually when writing letters or in some book, that introduction or preface like this, he would write all glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga. But here he did not. He wrote Shri Krishna Kirtanaya Nama. I am offering my obeisances to Krishna Kirtan. And Shri Krishna Sankirtan Vigraha Gaura Sundar Jaya Hok. And Shri Krishna Sankirtan Kari Gurudever Jaya Hok. Gurudev said, we understand Krishnaya Nama. I'm offering obeisance to Krishna. Or Ramaya, Narayanaya, to person. But why he is writing Krishna Kirtanaya Nama? I am offering my obeisances to Krishna Kirtan. Because he has that realization that Krishna Kirtan is not different from Krishna. Harikatha is not different from Krishna. When real Harikatha descended. Non-different. So they have this realization. And their remembrance and appearance of Krishna is simultaneous. Immediately. And Shri Krishna Sankirtan Vigraha. The Vigraha, the form of Shri Krishna Sankirtan, Gaura Sundar. Gaura Sundarir Jaya Hok. Let there be all victory for the form of Shri Krishna Sankirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, automatically Krishna Kirtan is there. Once in Mayapur, there was some drunk bus driver was there, and he hit our Mahaprabhus that when they were carrying Mahaprabhu, not directly Mahaprabhu, but that carrier was broken because that bus driver in Mayapur hit. He was drunk, could not properly drive, and that Mahaprabhu, which we were carrying, fell, and our Baman Maharaj caught him. That is also some special grace. Caught. So Mahaprabhu was not damaged, but that carrier, wooden carrier like palanquin, that type of, that was broken. So then, and it was near our mat, so they brought Mahaprabhu Diti inside, and other devotees, they were protesting there on the street. And it became late, and Gurudev did not want to take prasad, because every day after parikrama, Gurudev will take prasad. When parikrama party will come, he will take prasad. But he did not want to take, and it became very late. So some sevaks, they went to those protesting devotees, you please come to show yourself that you came back. No, yes, this, I forgot, now I remember. Then they said to Gurudev, sevaks, first they said to Gurudev, Gurudev, you can take prasad. Because Mahaprabhu already came back. Then Guru said, no. Because where Mahaprabhu is there, Kirtan is also there. But I did not hear any Kirtan. So he did not come back. Really, he did not actually come. So then these sevaks, they went to those devotees and told Gurudev is not taking prasad because Kirtan didn't come yet. So they came and the Kirtan, and it was okay. Then Gurudev took prasad. So because Gurudev has that realization, he said no. And then further Prabhupada wrote, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Kari Gurudever Jai Ho. Let there be all victory to Gurudev, who is capable of doing Sankirtan. He can do Kirtan because he is a pure devotee of Krishna, so he can do actual Sankirtan. So let there be all victory. May he grace me, make me his own, engage me in his service. Gurudev, he is capable of doing Kirtan. I am not capable. I don't have that capability. Only by the grace of Gurudev, I can follow him. I can chant what I heard from him. Following him, I can do. So here, Narad Goswami is expressing this realization because now he's a personal associate of Krishna. As I told, two are. One are Nitya Siddhas, another Sadhan Siddhas. Sadhan Siddhas also, when they attain, they also become personal associate of Krishna. They are not restricted. Now they are Siddha. So the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, for those who are pure devotees, they have no disease of that ignorance, jaundice, at once appears on the seat of my heart, as if called for, as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities. That is why our Gurudev also told, you have to chant Harinam without offenses. Then, in clear heart, then in that sanctified heart, by the power of the name, from that name, his form will appear, his qualities will appear, his associates will appear, his dham will appear, and his lila will appear. Everything will appear in your purified heart when you will chant without any offenses, without any anarthas, offenses, when with pure heart calling Krishna from the core of your heart, immediately you are getting that darshan of Krishna, because he's not different from Kirtan. Etat dhyatura chitanam matra sparshechaya muhuh bhava sindhu plavo drishto hari charyanu varnanam. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Here Narad is saying it is personally experienced by me. So I'm telling. So we should have faith. He's telling to Vyasadeva, because he will advise him and he say, I'm telling you my story. It happened in my case. So I'm telling you that those conditioned jivas, they are misidentified with the body and they want to enjoy the sense objects. Therefore, they are always full of cares and anxiety, fear and anger, all these things there. But they can cross over these nescience on a most suitable boat to constantly do Sankirtan. Nam Rup Gun Lila, or only Nam you can do. And together with devotees, but without offenses, sincerely, then you can easily cross this ocean of material existence. So with firm faith we have to do this sincerely, then we can cross. That is why Narad said to Vyasadeva, you will have to propagate the glories of Krishna for his satisfaction. That will be of actual eternal benefit to all conditioned souls. I am example. I got that result, so I know about the potency of this medicine. Yamadi bir yoga patei kama loba hato muhu mukunda seva yadvat tatha tat atma dha na shamyati. This is very important verse, very famous. It is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbances of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul. For this satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. We may renounce, restrict contact of our senses with the sense objects by renunciation. In different systems you have, like Buddhists, they have some system, Jnanis, they have yogis, they want to renounce, and they're getting some relief from kama and lobha, and therefore they're getting peace. They are relieved from disturbance of this world existence, but they're not getting any positive fulfillment of their real self, who really they are. So that kind of peace from material disturbance is not the ultimate goal of life. And after, we will also not be satisfied like Vyasadeva. And again, if we will not accept the service of Krishna, we will search for some happiness in this world, in some philanthropic activities or like this. Because at least some relationship is there. There is no relationship. But we have our relationship, eternal relationship with Krishna. So unless that is fulfilled, you cannot be happy. So in that impersonal liberation, you cannot be happy. Therefore, they again go down to do some sattvic relationships in this world, but that cannot fulfill you. So Mukunda Sevaya is necessary. Service of Mukunda. Sarvam tat idam akyatam yat prishtoham tvaya nagha janma karma rahasya me bhavatas chatma toshanam. O Vyasadeva, you are freed from all sins. Thus I have explained my birth and activities for self-realization as you asked. All this will be conducive for your personal satisfaction also. Sutta Uvach. Evam sambhashya bhagavan narado vasa visutam amantriya vinam aranayan yayo yadrichiko muni. Sutta Goswami said, thus addressing Vyasadeva, Srila Narad Muni took leave of him, and vibrating on his Vina instrument, he left to wander at his free will. That is real freedom, Yadrichiko or Yadrichaya, as per his will, because they are not slaves of Maya as conditioned souls. We think we are free. Many people, they say, I am free. I don't follow any religion. I don't follow anything. I am free. But he does not realize that he is fully under the control of material energy. Slave. But those who are devoted to Krishna, they are actually free. We are all the time shouting freedom, 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 because we want that. That is the nature of the soul. But we cannot get actual freedom, fulfillment for our freedom, unless we submit to Krishna. Because all the time we will be under the influence of Maya. But in the service of Krishna, that is actual freedom from Maya. And you will feel that demand for freedom will be fully fulfilled only in the service of Krishna. Not that you will become topmost leader in this world, or you will like that cannot fulfill your demand for freedom. As long as you are materially bound, you cannot feel free. And we are materially bound due to our aversion to Krishna. When we submit to Him, that is our nature, then we can get that freedom for which we are always seeking. Prahlad Maharaj was fully misled by his teachers, fully oppressed by his father, but he never felt any problem. Why? Because of his connection with Krishna. That was making him free of everything and anxiety and all this. And no one could do anything. Because of his surrender, we try to get freedom by fighting against others, by changing the environment, by fighting, by this all. Then we will be free. But we will not be free. We will still be slaves of Maya. But Prahlad, even in such environment, he was fully free. So Narad is freely he's moving. Aho devarshir dhanyoyam yat kirtim sharan ga dhanvana gayan madyan idam tantrya ramayat tyaturam jagat. All glory and success to Srila Narad Muni, because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead, and so doing he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. Our Gurudev also told this many times. You should get bliss and you should give bliss to others. But first you have to get it. Then automatically all will be blissful, coming in contact with you. So you don't worry much about what you want to instruct others. You yourself devote yourself to Krishna fully, then getting that bliss, others will automatically be inspired and they will be attracted and they will be happy, and then they will also do. And sometimes some pure devotee is here in this world and all are blissful. Not because they are such great devotees. No, it is because of him, because of his presence. Then we see when some great acharya leaves, then that is gone. That power, that bliss, that nice is gone. When Srila Sai Maharaj came, and this Hare Krishna movement was new thing. So other people, family members of those devotees or others, they sometimes used to say, they are strange, but they are nice. But after Sai Maharaj left, and if not devoted, then they say they are strange. So that nice was not anymore, because it was his presence that was making everything blissful and nice and everything. Because he's carrying Krishna inside his heart. Krishna is all existence, all knowledge, all bliss. So everything is there. But if he lives, and if I don't submit and sincerely worship Krishna, then it will not be there anymore. Only strange will be there. So we have to sincerely submit to Guru, practice, then we will take pleasure. Here Nara, by so doing, he himself takes pleasure and enlivens other distress. If I myself am distressed, how I can help others? By what? So I have to come out from distress by dedicating myself to Krishna. Then I can help others also. Chapter 7, the son of Drona punished. Shaunaka Uvach. Nirgate Narade Sutta Bhagavan Badarayana Shrutavam Stat Abhipretam Tatah Kim Akarod Vibhu. Rishi Shaunaka asked, O Sutta, the great and transcendentally powerful Vyasadeva heard everything from Sri Narad Muni. So after Narada's departure, what did Vyasadeva do? Sutta Uvach. Brahmanadyam Saraswatyam Ashramah Paschimetate Samprayasa iti prokta Rishinam Satra Vardana. Sri Sutta said, on the western bank of the river Saraswati, which is intimately related with the Vedas, there is a cottage for meditation at Samprayas, which enlivens the transcendental activities of the sages. Cottage for meditation. That is necessary. We have bathroom, dining room, living room, bedroom, all this we have. Kitchen room, but we need one temple room or meditation room. That is also necessary. Tasmin swa ashrame vyaso padari shanda mandite asino pa upasprishya pranidadyo manah swayam. In that place, Srila Vyasadeva, in his own ashram, which was surrounded by berry trees, sat down to meditate after touching water for purification. Achaman. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite male apashyat purusham purnam mayam chatat apashraya. This is what we have to attain. Thus he fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service, bhakti yoga, without any tinge of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which was under full control. Yaya samohito jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manutenartam tat kritam chavipadyate. Due to this external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks of himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries. Anarto pashamam shakshat bhakti yoga madoksha je lokasya janato vidvam chakre satota samhitam. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, which was in relation to the Supreme Truth. I read quickly because these 3 verses are description of Vyasadeva's Samadhi. Samyak pranihite male. Amale means without any material tinge, and samyak means full absorption. That is Samadhi. So in Samadhi, one will get darshan, proper vision of everything. So we can reach this. This is natural Samadhi. There is another one, artificial Samadhi, but this by Bhakti, it is natural Samadhi. So Jiva Goswami, he explained at length about Vyasadeva's Samadhi. It is very important to know. I just read quickly now because time is over. So tomorrow we can enter more deeply into this. Because Jiva Goswami said, some are impersonalists. They interpret Vedanta Sutra in that way. But Vyasadeva said that Bhagavatam is commentary to Vedanta Sutra. So we have to see what Vyasadeva saw in his Samadhi, in his realization, after which he was fully satisfied. So based on this Samadhi, it is totally refuted that Vedanta Sutra is about ultimate reality is impersonal. And what is the cause of bondage and all this? No. In this Samadhi, that is direct realization of Vyasadeva, Sambandha is shown Krishna, his internal potency, Maya potency is under his control, and Jiva, marginal potency, and Jiva, when averse to Krishna, is bound by Maya, although transcendental but bound. So all these tattvas are there at the same time. It is not that impersonal and Maya false and Jiva is false, all that is not there. This is actual reality. And there is only one way to come out for the Jiva, that is by devotion. No other way. So when one gets this type of realization, not only theoretical knowledge, but when one gets this type of realization, then actually he can serve as a guru. Because he saw all tattvas and he knows about the real process and how to apply and everything, and he himself is doing that. Because after seeing the truth, you cannot do otherwise. So Guru must have knowledge of all Shastra, but also he must have this realization. Then he will be able to help others, to encourage them to worship Krishna. He will not advise anything else except this, because he knows what is the problem of all jivas, what is the solution. That is why Mahaprabhu also told to Sanatana Goswami, because jiva is averse to Krishna, she is suffering. And there is no other way except to become inclined to serve Krishna, that one can be freed from this suffering and can get fulfillment. That is the real Guru, who is himself pure devotee, and he is advising all others only for pure devotion, based on his own experience. So tomorrow we will enter more deeply into what Vyasadeva saw, and this is what we also have to see. We have to realize this for our own eternal welfare and for the benefit of all others. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in all his books, he said, you have to come to this point. What Vyasadeva saw is open for you also. And you have to see the truth for yourself. Don't just read or this. No, Vyasadeva saw it, you also have to see it. So by the process, as Vyasadeva did, by that process we have to see the truth, and then we have to help others based on our own experience. Jiva Goswami, he wrote extensively on only these few shlokas, because it is very important. This all things is here. So tomorrow is Ekadashi here. We will go more deep into this.